I'm Nick Altmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com. We're here today at the New Beginnings building on Jackson Street in downtown Lowville, and we have Jenny Jones, who is the Commissioner of the Department of Social Services here in Lewis County, and we also have
Laurie Millard.
Laurie Millard, who is with NRCIL, who is running this year's what do we call it? The warming center?
Lewis County Warming Center.
Lewis County Warming Center. Okay, so we're in a new location this year. So Jenny, do you want to tell us a little bit about what's different this year with the warming center?
Okay. What's different this year at the Warming Center is its location. We're at 5499 Jackson Street, across from the Ford Garage in Lowville. The primary reason for looking for an alternate location was the walkability to get here. The Church of the Nazarene was a fantastic partner with us last year, but getting people a little bit further out of town in the middle of the night in the dead of winter posed some issues for some people. It is unsafe to walk up that far. So this is right in town, so people will have easier access.
Okay, Jenny, and can you tell us exactly what is the warming center and what is the purpose of the warming center?
The Warming Center is a location where people can come in and be warm and safe in the middle of winter. New York State has a requirement that departments of social services must shelter people when it is 32 degrees or colder with the wind chill factor for 2 hours or more. So those nights are going to hit us very quickly. So instead of providing hotel rooms for days and days on end, we are again this year opening a warming center for people to stay at.
Okay, so and this is where NRCIL comes into play. This year you guys are kind of overseeing the warming center.
We are.
So you'll be staffing it with staff. It'll be staffed the entire time that it's open. 2 staff members will be here. So can you tell us a little bit about what's involved with NRCIL, running the warming center, putting this all together, and kind of how you foresee this working?
I foresee it as hopefully as smoothly as it went last year when we were at the Nazarene Church. No promises regarding, what could or might happen, but we know that we have fully trained staff who are available, who are prepared to treat the people that come here as guests. We will respect their dignity and make sure that this is a safe place for them, providing a meal if that's what they need, providing referrals to resources that are available in the community.
And I think that's a great partnership that NRCIL brings to the table, in conjunction with social services, that you guys have access to a lot of programs, whether it be treatment programs or getting back on your feet or all kinds of courses and classes. So you can kind of maybe put people that are a little down on their luck, having a hard time, in connection with some of these resources that might help them.
We can do that.
I'd like people to think about a story we just had in Syracuse, New York, of a family that was carbon monoxide poisoned with a toddler that died because they were homeless and in their car. Mm-hmm. So if we think about people can end up homeless for many, many reasons,
right.
This would have been a safe place for them to go if we were open or if there was a location in Syracuse. We aren't as big as the city of Syracuse for sure, but there's a couple extra rooms should we have a family with kids that need to be here. We can separate them from everybody else, but it isn't common for families to be homeless in Lewis County for sure, but we want to make sure we definitely help those people. And
this is an atmosphere where is there a limited number of people that you can help out on a nightly basis, or
we have a limited number of cots, but we have more cots than I believe that we will use. Mm-hmm. Last year, the most people that were there on one night, there were 2. One time or a few times it was a couple, and other than that it was 2 individual men. Mm-hmm. I don't expect us to be at capacity. Mm-hmm. With, I think we have, is it 20 cots?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't expect that to be the case, but we have them if we need them.
Right. Okay, and so I think you know, the important part right now, and what you ladies were trying to do today is really get the word out that the warming center has moved, and that the warming center is here and available in Lewis County. So I think this is the second year that we've actually had a warming center. Jenny, you've kind of alluded to in the past, you know, because of the New York State requirement, you know, people might be put up in a hotel room for a night on a cold night. So this isn't only for days that it's 32 degrees or colder. This is going to be open every single night from October 1st to April 1st?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll close at 7 a.m. on April 1st.
Okay, and this is only open at nighttime. So you open at 7 p.m. and then people can stay here until 7 a.m.
Yes.
At 7 a.m. you gotta leave though.
They leave. They can go to friends, family. They can go to NRCIL and sit. They can come up to the DSS lobby and sit if they truly have no place to go. Last year, the warming center staff was working with a young gentleman that was here staying, and he did come into DSS and did apply for temporary assistance and followed through on those requirements. So DSS has a lot of requirements for public assistance that might put you in a hotel room, like treatment, mental health treatment, looking for jobs. There's a lot to it, and it can be daunting and scary for some people to do that, or pride gets in their way. I'll figure it out later, but we really don't want people out in a tent in the winter, so this will be a good option for them.
Okay, and I guess the last point to bring up is that you know, as we discussed, this is something that New York State requires all Department of Social Services in the state to have house people during cold nights?
Not necessarily, no. New York State requirement is that we must find a location, a place for someone to be when it's 32 degrees or colder.
Okay.
That could be a hotel,
Right.
a motel, a shelter, a warming center. So Lewis County moved to the warming center model last year because we had people in hotels for 28, 29 days straight,
Right.
with no supervision and really no accountability and responsibility.
Right.
So with the supervision model and people trained to give referrals and work with people where they are at in their life, we think that's the better solution.
And this option is funded through New York State.
Yes, Lewis County receives an allocation in order to take care of people when it is below 32 degrees. So we have our allocation and we're using it toward the warming center. We will reserve a little bit of money for someone that would not be appropriate to be in a warming center, say they had a significant disabling condition and really needed maybe some medical care or some hands-on care. We still have the option of hoteling someone if we truly need to.
Okay.
And I think the supervision piece is another part that I like. If you send someone to a hotel, they get the option of being in that hotel, and wonderful because they are warm and safe. But there isn't anyone there to monitor what's happening. Here we will have staff that are here all the time. We'll be putting in a security camera for the door so that we'll be able to see who's coming in, and just to make sure that this is safe, that
for the employees, the people that need to use the warming center, and the neighbors
people
here on the
staying
street.
and for the neighbors
on the
absolutely.
street here, yeah.
Right. Okay, so to wrap things up, why don't we can you walk me through the process? You know, it's a cold night, you know, we're in the middle of November. I'm out on the street and need someplace to go for the night. How do I go about getting here? You know, is there certain entrances? Are they going to be marked on the doors? Like, how does that all work?
The entrance is on the right side of the New Beginnings building. It is about halfway back.
Okay.
People will come to the door. As I said, there will be a video doorbell out there. So people ring the doorbell, we come to get them, we briefly go over some rules with them, expectations. I like the word a little bit better than rules. And, you know, letting them know that once they enter, they can't leave, and that's for safety reasons. if they leave, they can't come back in for the night. So if they are a smoker and they want to have one last cigarette before they come in, they can do that outside. Then they come in, we'll go over all the rules with them. Basically it's, we're guests here, they're guests here, but so are we. We need to be respectful of the building, of the people here. No alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Their items will be searched. And aside from that, they come in and this is a warm, safe place to be. If they need help with filing for food stamps or SNAP benefits, if they need something related to housing, we can get them headed in the right direction.
Okay, but that's not a requirement. I think we talked off camera, and you don't make them fill out applications
Absolutely
for services
not.
or anything like that.
No.
If they just want to come in and stay for the night, have a warm place to stay, maybe a warm cup of coffee or tea or something.
Sometimes people are homeless for a night for a
Right.
specific reason while they're making a plan for someplace else.
Right.
So, they could be not in need past one night,
Right.
but they might have an ongoing need.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
We had a gentleman last year that did not want to give us his name, and that was okay.
Right.
We were okay with that.
Okay. So that's the Lewis County Warming Center. That's here on Jackson Street. So right off South State Street. It's just a few houses up, like you said, right across the street from the Ford garage. And we're going to be opening the location on October 1st at 7 p.m. and it'll be
This
open.
Sunday.
Okay,
This Sunday.
that's a Sunday.
It's
Yep.
coming right up.
And it'll be open nightly from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. all the way through until April 1st.
Correct. We would be remiss not to point out some of our other partners in the warming center. So NRCIL is doing a lion's share of the work and providing the staffing and training for the staffing. But Catholic Charities helps us, Lewis County Opportunities, Snow About Housing. The Church of the Nazarene is still involved with us in kind of guiding us in the right direction. So I think we have a pretty strong team here of government, community partners, and faith-based to try to make sure we're doing the right thing.
All right. Well, anything else you ladies want to add?
The only thing I would like to add is I know you're going to take some pictures of what we have is we are hoping last year we had a lot of people reach out about donating items to the warming center. This year we would ask if people could give us some shelf-stable type meals, like the soup in a cup that you microwave and microwavable easy meals. That way it's easy on the staff, easy on the people staying here, and without a lot of dishes to have to do.
And
So-
something that we can give people as they're leaving in the morning
right, they
as
can
well.
put it in their backpack.
They
Right.
can have a meal with them for the day.
Right. Sounds good. Okay. And then as far as cots, blankets, things like that, you have those have been donated.
Catholic Charities supplied those last year to the warming center. Obviously that stuff gets reused. We have a process in place to make sure all the blankets and everything are washed as they're needed, but we have lots of extras. So,
Right.
while they're in the wash, there's always other ones to be used. So
Right.
we're making arrangements to make sure that is all done.
There were
Perfect.
people last year as well that donated blankets.
Yes.
And we were able to give them, we didn't have any left. All that were donated, we were able to give to people as they were leaving.
Very good.
We had some people that stayed with us one night, but then the next night they stayed in a tent. So they were able to use.
And if there are people out in the community watching this that would like to make some kind of donation to the program, how would they go about doing that?
Go ahead.
Contacting us at NRCIL would be a great start.
Right. Last year we had donations from some people that gave us lots and lots of winter coats. And we were able to distribute those through a lot of locations like the DSS lobby, here at the warming center, the NRCIL main office. I think some ended over at Opportunities, at the thrift store to give away. Just trying to help people wherever they might show up.
Behavioral health. we
Behavioral
took
health
some
and
too.
wellness had some as well. So we'll just wait and see. The community was very gracious last year when this opened, and we hope to see that again this year.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time explaining this for people, and wish you great success this season with the warming center. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.